Hi, welcome to the Nog Vlog. This is Lance. We're going to do a quick tour of a cabin on the Carnival Luminosa, number 4258. This is a interior obstructed view stateroom. And what that means is we actually have a outside facing cabin with a large window that has an obstructed view. We'll get to that in just a second. But as you enter the cabin, you'll see it very much resembles a balcony stateroom. It's qualified as an interior room. However, we are facing the exterior on the outside of this ship. Real quick, I just want to show you some of the safety items for this room. You are in muster station B, which is deck below. You're on the port side. Of course, our room is located here on the port side, just a little back from the forward elevator bank and stairs. At the very end of the video, I'll walk over to that area so you can see how far you have to walk each time you go to and from your room to that nearest elevator bank. But other than that, you can see here, you've got some lifeboats stationed just along all the windows here. So this is the class of cabin that we're in that have that interior qualification, but exterior physical presence. Let's go ahead and show you what that is. Everyone's interested to see, well, what's my view going to be? Well, that's going to depend on a few things. We'll go ahead and open the inside curtain and the outside curtain. Same for this side. I'll give you the exact look. We're here docked in Seattle, where the Carnival Luminosa is home ported at, here in June of 2023. We are on the port side. So depending on the diagram you're looking at, if you're looking to decide on if this room is good for you or not, just know that these vessels, these life rescue vessels here, are forward facing with the little pilot nipple, whatever you want to call it, here in the back. That could further obstruct your view. If you were in the cabin next door to us, you wouldn't obviously have that. But me as a 6-foot person and holding this right at my eye level, I've got a great view to be able to see what the weather looks like outside. I can see if it's cloudy, if it's sunny, if it's rainy, if it's windy. I'm able to do all of that with this view. Can I actually walk out there? I cannot. But just below us, you can see here, right here, is the outer walkway of deck 3, which you can easily hop down the stairs if you wanted to maybe catch a whale or look for whales or look for animals or actually feel the weather outside. So it's kind of like you have a balcony somewhat close by. But let's take a look at the rest of the room. As you walk in, you've got 3 cabinets. First one here is full of shelves. It also includes your safe. These shelves are not movable and has your full-length mirror. You have another cabinet here. And here we have hangers with 2 rows of hangers. Not a ton of hangers in here. You'll see in the next cabinet over there are a few more hangers. But as far as these go, they're plastic. It's nice that they're thick so they don't give you the shoulder nipples. I don't know how many times I'm going to say nipples in this room for, but let's see if we can get to at least one more. We found if you had clothing items that were, spaghetti strap or very thin, it would easily fall off of these. I appreciate that they're not the thin kind, but they were not all that practical in the end. And they're kind of difficult to get off sometimes, especially when you have some heavier clothes on them. For this cabinet, you got your life vests, and you have, again, just a few more hangers. 2 of these have clips. I don't even know if anybody had clips over here. Yeah, we had one down here with clips for your pants. Moving further this way, you'll see your vanity. As far as plugs over here, you've got a Australian plug. This is not a European plug, but it's an Australian plug. You have 1 US outlet. So you want to bring yourself some type of non-surge extension if you plan to charge multiple electronics or items over here. At the bed, we'll get to in just a moment, there is an additional bank of USB charging. You have your phone and drawers. The first drawer here does contain a it's a decent blow dryer. Doesn't sound too weak. You know how drawers work. You'll notice that these have these interesting little pulls. They're not necessarily knobs, but they're kind of these faux leather rings. Nice because they don't really snag on anything. If you got clothing or anything like that, you're not going to really catch on those. I don't know how many times I've been on sailings and I've had backpacks or pockets or things catch on more solid hooks. So you do have a cooler. Not a fridge, but a cooler, and it worked very well for this trip, keeping our water cool. On this angle here, you have some additional storage. You see this normally sits on top of your bed to take out your luggage, but this is nice deep storage here. So while you're lacking Shelving up here, you have plenty of space, and you have some open shelves down here as well. The TV here on the Carnival Luminosa has the standard Carnival limited channel list. However, the map channel is really great for an Alaska sailing because it's not a familiar area and you want to see exactly where you are, what you're coming up to as far as islands, mountains, port cities, etc. I will say also there is a forward-facing camera and rear-facing camera on the ship that each have their own channel that you can watch. This forward-facing one is pretty unique because it's actually set back a little bit above deck 11 here on the forward part of the ship. So you can actually see people hanging out here, walking by, waving to the camera as we go through. There's also a rear-facing camera that's not quite as clear as the forward-facing one, but at least lets you see what's behind you. There is no on-screen interactive system that connects with your hub app to show you your account summary or rent movies. It is just that very basic set of channels. Let's talk about that bed as we mentioned. You have the option to do 2 twin beds or push them together for 1 king. We found the pillows were a mixture of soft and firm. You have bedside lamps on both sides, but the USBs were only located on that interior side. And you also have the master switch over here in case you leave that on. Of course, if you turn on the lights at the Vanity, those will stay on and you have to flip those off manually there behind the phone. Let's get these lights back on. As you can see, that window does provide a lot of good light, good natural light. So you don't have to use these bulbs here, which are very, very yellow in temperature. I mentioned the USB charger over here. I didn't really pay attention to if this charges any slower as far as the amperage than something you would plug in here. I would imagine it does. Overall, all 4 ports worked. We maxed it out and we're charging things on all 4 ports. I mentioned the lamp over here and your additional storage here. Now, this cabin in particular is built for 3 passengers. So you have 2 here on the bed, and then you have a couch here. It can convert into a bed for a 3rd passenger. These cushions here can be placed under the bed in the corner of the room. What's one thing that we found odd was this room does have just a chair as kind of an additional seating option. Of course, you have your stool for your vanity, but this chair we found was more kind of in the way, just this walkway right here. I think we actually would prefer if we had a small coffee table, but we use that as a coffee table. It just was a little bit in the way. Temperature in the room was wonderful. We kept it mostly here in the low range, and this was on an Alaska cruise in the summer. So fairly warm when we left here in Seattle, about 75, 80 degrees. The coldest we ever got on this particular trip was maybe in the low 40s, and even still, we barely, I think, raised it above this level here. We did not have a problem keeping this room cool, nor getting it to the perfect temperature for when it was already cold outside. Your light switch for the bathroom is right here, so we'll go ahead and flip that on. Flip that on. You see on your door, you've got a couple of nipples to hang some stuff. Hey, we got the triple nipple. You know, speaking of nipples, I want to show you the artwork in here. This is a former Costa ship transferred to the parent company, Carnival, for use here in Alaska season, as well as down in Australia. And they've got a little, Italian art, a little risque, as you can see here, but nothing that is too terribly inappropriate as far as art is concerned. So since it's disembarkation day, you can see the bathroom is a little bit used here. We've kind of used up all of our towels. They're actually at the bottom of the shower here. I won't show you all of that, but you can see the shower head does run pretty well. You do have a couple of pivoting options here. You can remove the wand if you need to, raise and lower it. Comes with the typical shower gel and shampoo. And you also have temperature controls down there. You do have a string line to hang any wet clothes that you would like to dry off. And other than that, nice powerful water for shaving and for brushing your teeth. The last thing we like to always show you before we say goodbye to this cabin is how far away are you from the closest elevator, bank, and stairs? So we're gonna head outside. You can head aft in the ship this way and get to the middle section, the middle stairway and elevator if you would like. But typically you'd probably head to the forward elevator and stairway, which is gonna be this way. So you can see we're about 5 or 6 rooms back from this turn. And just 2 or 3 more rooms here before you get to the forward stairway and the 4 forward elevator banks. So with that, if you have any questions about this interior obstructed view cabin, let us know in the comments. We're happy to answer them. If you want to see any more about the Carnival Luminosa, be sure to check out our full ship tour, as well as our entire series from our Alaska sailing here in June of 2023. Thanks again for coming to take a trip with us.